Hey everybody, Jeff from Corrugated Cavalier here. This is the long-awaited part 2 of my Sword and Armor series from Fiore. So you can find part 1 up there. That is the left foot forward posta. Today we'll be discussing the right foot forward posta. So there are sort of four, there are really only three right foot forward posta in the section, but we also come across one in the sword and two hands section, just like we did in the left foot forward posta of sword and armor. So the first time that we come across a sword and armor posta, right foot forward, is in the sword and two hands section, not in the sword and armor section. This one doesn't really have a name, but we're right foot forward and the sword is down like this. In the Getty, it's shown front weighted. I believe in the Pisani Dossi, I want to say, it's shown rear weighted. And then this looks a lot like the Spada una mano master, except we have our left hand here instead of on our leg or something like that. So he says that this is good against sword, axe, and dagger in armor. So moving on to the sword in armor section, the first one that we come across is Vera Croce, and this is very similar, if not exactly the same, to the spear version. There's a link to the 6 spear posta video that I put out up there. And this is thumbs facing the same direction, rear weighted. Fiore says that this is great for dealing with thrusts, and to step, cross, and strike is its game. The next one we see is Porta di Ferro Mezzana, and this is with the sword low. And this is the only one in the sword and armor section where both hands are on the grip. And it says, Fiore says that you can launch strikes to the face, or step forward, put the sword through the arms, and do a middle bind, which I'll show in a minute. And the last right foot forward guard in the sword and armor section is my personal favorite at the time, the bastard cross. And it's not just because I get to say the word bastard. So our right foot's forward, our thumbs are facing each other, and we are front weighted, and we're kind of covering this shoulder almost. And Fiore says that the bastard cross can do anything that the true cross can. Vera Croce is the true cross. But he also says that to step offline to make a cover is best, and also that its best feature is its strikes. So I could really see a lot of pommel strikes from down high, down low, up high, or coming in with the left hand as well. Sort of like a little bit like poleaxe fighting, just with a sword to some extent. One of the great things about having a facsimile of the manuscript is to see how it was originally laid out. I would have never noticed this if I just looked at the Wichtenauer, which is a great resource, the Wichtenauer compilation. But if you notice, it sort of looks like these posta are set up to be opposing each other. So if you remember this from the left foot forward posta video, the serpent countered by Vera Croce. The archer countered by the bastard cross, and the raised serpent countered by Porta di Ferro Mezzana. So it's hard to say whether or not this was for sure intended to be opposing or not, but it certainly looks that way, or at least some kind of teaching tool, in my opinion. So once again, let's try a little bit of this out on Paul. So this is the first one from the just sword and two hands section. Once again, it's pretty easy to, if it's something low especially. Something high, of course, you can still do that. But there's no specific play really associated with it, so kind of left up to your imagination. But like I said, it's also close to the, in the Pisani Dossi manual, close to the Spada una mano master. So let's go to Vera Croce next. And we're back weighted just like the spear posta, and it says step, cross, and strike. In the spear plays, this is usually used for when they're getting too close to you and you step back. So I could see either one here, step back to cross, and then strike with something, or to step in and strike. The next one we see is Porta di Ferro Mezzana, and this is shown countering the raised serpent. I kind of like that because you've got a straight line to the face to also kind of counter their arms up high, or even that. Even though the Ray Serpent says to go from high to low, you could potentially trap their arms. I could see that. It also says shoot through their arms to do a middle bind. It's a little hard on Paul, but the way that I'm kind of thinking about that is through the right arm, and then coming around and putting that on. But Paul is tied to a metal post that's in the ground, so I can't really do that. Oh, but I turned his shoulders, haha. Okay, and last but not least, the stance of the Bastard Cross. So this gets into, just like with the Vera Croce, this gets into some of the first basic play in the Sword and Armor section. But with the Bastard Cross, I sort of think about it as a little, could I say, offline first, the outside, and then coming in with this sort of cover, and then a stab to the face, and there are a lot of follow-ups from there. But even just without any plays, just free, kind of getting the pommel in there, etc. I definitely like this sort of just striking poleaxe or like movie staff fighting kind of thing going on with the Bastard Cross. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Sorry that I'm wearing a modern linen shirt under this. I hope that doesn't break your immersion or anything. That was the Right Foot Forward Posta. In the next Sword and Armor video in this series, we will be getting into a couple of the very first basic plays in the Sword and Armor section. And we'll kind of carry on from there. Hopefully I'll have some more bits of my kit by then as well. Some stuff should be coming in soon. Thank you for coming by the channel as always. If you have any questions, feel free to chat down below, comments, whatever. Do you think that the guards are meant to oppose each other like I feel like in the pictures? Let me know. Please click like, subscribe, share this around to people who might find it interesting. You can follow me at CorrugatedCav1 on Twitter. Be good to each other, and ciao.